Well, writing a research proposal for Prime Minister Research Fellowship for doctoral research is quite challenging. Many people even asked me like how to deal with it because it's a very important aspect of getting this proposal done for a successful application of uh, PM Fellowship for doctoral research. Well, you can feel there is a bit like you have to impress a date. You want to show off your best self and highlight your unique qualities and convince them that you are worth for their time. So here is a craft of compelling proposal that is not just informative but also engaging. You have to write a very engaging research proposal, and it should deal with a present context, present biomedical context. So I'll just give a brief about this fellowship. This offers you around 5,500,000 INR, that is around 55 lakhs Indian rupees, which is distributed over 5 years. In the first and second year, you will get 70,000 INR for per month, and in the third year, it will increase to 75,000 INR per month. In the fourth and fifth year, you will get 80,000 INR per month. And then there is an additional research grant around 2 lakh Indian rupees per month. Well, for writing the research proposal, you have to know your audience. First of all, you have to understand what the fellowship is all about. This fellowship is not just throwing money at anyone with a research idea. Well, it aims to support innovative projects that tackle national issues and contribute to the society itself. And overall, in a big picture, you have to look at what kind of biomedical research or what kind of biomedical topics are important. So think of it as your chance to play a superhero, and your research could save the day, and make sure your proposal reflects what the mission is about. Well, you have to introduce. Don't just brag around. You have to be very specific. You have to grab the attention like a firework on New Year's Eve. And you have to keep things off with a striking fact, like quirky questions or even a relatable story that sets the stage for your research. For example, if you are studying climate change, or you might start with something like, did you know that if we don't act soon, or summer might start feeling like an overset to broil. Or if you take an example of a cancer research, you have to be very, very specific about what kind of compound you are talking about, what kind of molecule you are going to deal with it, why that particular molecule is important, or what kind of disease you are trying to target, and whether you have certain background or not. So then smoothly transition into your research question and objectives, and make them specific enough that they don't need a GPS to find their way. Remember, there are certain reviewers who will just get pissed off if they have to find very small or very specific things in your research project. So you have to be very, very specific, and you have to write specifically what are your research objectives. Well, first of all, I'll talk a bit about what are the layout for your research plans should look like. Well, think of your research plan as the recipe for your favorite dish and clear steps that leads to delicious results. Break it down into sections. For example, first of all, there will be a background and significance, share what's been done before, where your work fits in. This is your chance to show you are not just reinventing the wheel, but rather giving it a stylish makeover. And of course, we have to talk about the methodology itself. It should be very, very precise and very, very concise. And also, it should talk or it should explain how you will conduct your research. It should be in very, very detailed. This is not the time for vague ideas like I'll figure it out like in this way or in that way. You have to show that you have a solid plan, and you should have a particular timeline for it. Include a timeline that outlines when you are achieving key milestone. For example, you have the best way to show this is to prepare a Gantt chart, which will play a major or better role, and think of it as your research countdown clock. Who doesn't love even a estimated deadline? For example, if you don't have a estimated deadline, so the money will not flow like forever. There is a specific timeline, like first year, second year, what you will be doing by third year, what kind of thesis you will be writing, what kind of major milestone you're going to achieve. So you have to show that you are the superpower for this project. So you have to highlight your qualifications like they are like with the shiny badges on your superhero costume, or even discuss your academic background, relevant experience, and any previous research adventures. Where it is crucial to correlate your existing preliminary data with your research objectives that will vouch for the feasibility of your research proposal. If you are if you have collaborated with others, or have any cool skills like being fluent in 5 languages, or knowing how to juggle, or mention those two as well, or even what kind of research experience you have gained through certain internship or through certain research projects. So you have to make it impactful. This is where you get a spotlight on the potential impact of your research. How will it change the world? Will it solve pressing issues or make it life easier for people? These are the important questions. This should mandatorily be addressed in your proposal. You have to use some concrete examples. This is not just about academic accolades, it's about making a real difference. Try to include solid references from PubMed and other scientific literature from like Indian biomedical context, and also the overall you have to make an analogy as well as comparison in all over the world. You may consider doing some live research projects, such as some of them are being offered by government organizations like NPTL or even Go Global India. So this will help you understand the basics of biomedical research. And remember, everyone loves a good success story. You have to keep it clear and in a fun way. Throughout your proposal, aim for clarity and keep things lighthearted where appropriate. Avoid the scientific jargon that sounds like it has been pulled from any ancient scroll, or instead use straightforward language that anyone can understand. Organize the content with headlines and bullet points, and think of it giving your proposal a stylish output that makes it easy. Remember, you can use those AI tools, but of course, you have the idea should be yours. You can use those AI tools for making for proofreading your language, but don't just ask the idea from those AI sources. Well, you have to budget. You have to budget because you are being a principal investigator for your own project. Of course, you'll be working under certain PIs, but you have to budget. If required, include a budget that details how funds will be used. Justify each expenses, like because there is a certain research grant component as well. So how you will use those money, justify each expenses, like you're explaining why the dissertation is necessary about like this necessary. It's just simple, like how the desert is necessary after the dinner, because it is, and that transparency here builds trust and shows you have thought this throughout. Don't forget to revise and get feedback from your peers. Once you have drafted your proposal, put on your editor hat and revise it thoroughly. Look for areas where clarity can improve or arguments strengthened, and don't hesitate to ask for feedback from peers or mentors. They can be invaluable in spotting things you might have missed. For example, there are certain typos, there might be certain over ambitious claims. Those should be removed. Well, overall, I would say crafting an engaging proposal for this fellowship is all about knowing your audience, starting strong, laying out a clear plan, showcasing your qualifications, emphasizing impact, giving scientific evidences, keeping things clear and fun. You have to make a planned budget wisely and revise thoroughly. Don't forget, revise thoroughly. With these tips in hand, you will well on your way to write a proposal that stands out and like the bright star at the end of the impressive research journey. So if you have any question, put it in my comments.